You played the entire game. Came up with some big defensive stops in the came up with some big defensive stops in the fourth quarter and some baskets. It seemed like more so than ever, you were just like, "I'm not losing this game. I'm super determined." What was your mindset throughout the entire contest?
I mean, you said it, Coach said it. As seniors, and as a fifth-year senior, we were determined to get over that hump. We wanted it more, and we, did the best we could, and we came out on top.
Pat, go ahead.
Eaton Robb from the Associated Press. Raina, can you describe what you saw on that last play with the steal and then being able to hit those free throws in that clutch situation?
Yeah, she turned her back. The ball was still stuck on her hip, and so I went for it, got the steal, made the layup, and then those free throws. I mean, we practice free throws every day in practice, and we're always in tough situations, and so I just knocked them down.
Right here, go ahead.
I'll ask this question to Elissa. Congratulations, first and foremost, on making it to the Elite Eight. But how did you guys keep your composure, throughout most of the game where it felt like you guys were being outplayed, but, you kept fighting and you kept keeping yourselves in the game and gave yourselves a chance to win in the end, and it worked out for you. How did you guys keep that composure throughout the second half?
I mean, like Raina said, we've been in these situations before. We've had some games this season we've been down in the first half and even towards the end of the game. So we knew what we were capable of, and we just had confidence in each other, and we all just kept on reminding each other, take it one step at a time, like get one stop and then push it and focus on the little things.
Todd Gibson, CBS 17 out of Raleigh. Kai, just the senior element to this team, do you think that helped down the road, late in the game to get you guys to this victory?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, can you hear me? Yeah, for sure. I would say that, like Lee said, everyone said, we've been in this position before. With that experience, as the previous question, we were able to stay composed. And, I mean, countless times I will bet on my team no matter what, hands down.
Hi, Katie Barnes, ESPN, right here. Hello. I know, it's hard to tell. For any of you or all of you, a couple times in the game you were cutting into the lead, you were getting close, couldn't quite tie, couldn't quite get over the hump or take the lead until the very end. So from your perspective, what shifted in the last couple of minutes of the game that allowed you to really cut into that lead and ultimately come out victorious?
I think we knew that we kept getting close, and then we would make a mistake, like a turnover or a bad pass, or we wouldn't get a defensive stop. And so I think we just kept telling ourselves we can get those defensive stops to keep getting closer. And then I think towards the end we just had great defensive possessions, and then we were scoring on the other end too. We started to attack and learned what they were doing on screens. They got us a couple turnovers. So just figuring that out and then being able to come back.
Right here in front.
I don't know if I can't remember if you started the game on Miles. She had a big first half, but did you ask Coach, can I switch and get on her? And what did you kind of do to kind of slow her down? She finished with 21, but she had 15 in the first half. So what did you kind of do to make things challenging for her later in the game?
It's just a matchup thing. We had to adapt with how they were playing the pick on ball, and in the long run, we got the hang of it, I guess. We played it good enough for us to come out on top, and I say, just relying on the help side as well and making sure I beat her on the opposite side of the screen.
Alexa, go ahead.
Alexa Philippou, ESPN. Raina, as you guys are cutting into their lead down the stretch in timeouts, what was said to try and keep the group together and to ensure that you guys would be able to be focused and get the stops you needed to cut back into the lead?
We didn't want to go home. I mean, we didn't want the same results as last year, and so we all just stuck together and reminded each other, hey, we got to get this one. We got to get some stops, and we got to score on the other end. And so just reminding each other that we didn't want to go home and that we needed to win this game.
Right here in front, then we'll go to Katie.
Alex Sawyer with Pack Pride. Elissa, you guys call her Crutchfield, but how much does the energy she brought in the fourth quarter, getting those steals, getting an and-one opportunity early, kind of sparked the whole team there for that comeback?
It was huge, when she got the M1, you saw the energy from the bench and just us, and we knew we could actually do it, and I think her defensive ability, I'm sitting back and I'm just watching her work, watching her get the steals and taking it. So I think what Kai's been able to do for this program, defensively, offensively, and just as a leader is just exceptional.
Katie?
Hi, me again, Katie Barnes, ESPN. Of course, Raina's steal and then finish gave you the lead. But for you all, what do you think was the most important play of the game that kind of turned the tide in your favor?
I think it was Kai's M1, honestly. I don't know if y'all think differently.
Thanks.
Because, when she got that, we were all so hype, and I think, we really started to, bring it together as a team.
Yeah.
We have about 4 more minutes with the student athletes. Go ahead.
Elissa, this is questions for you. You made a lot of clutch free throws, and then there was that one shot that you missed. what was going through your mind when you missed that one shot?
I mean, honestly, I was just like calm on the free throw line. I just left it short, and so as soon as I did, we got into the timeout, and so I knew that we were just gonna have to get a stop, and we were gonna have to play defense. And Coach Moore like trusted us to play defense. You know, we didn't really start fouling, and we got the steal. So after I missed it, I was just like, well, that's behind me now, and then let's go get a steal on defense.
Okay, we're going to take a question from our Zoom crowd. Chantel from The Athletic, you are active. Go ahead.
Thank you. My question's for Raina. Raina, on the broadcast the other day, they were talking about how you were in. Sorry, is the audio weird?
A little choppy.
Try again.
Sorry, I'm getting feedback. On the broadcast the other day, they were talking about how you first got the call from NC State, screened the call, and it was your brother who convinced you to call them back. I was curious what you remember about that call and why you decided to call them.
Coach Moore had left the voicemail, and my brother listened to it, and he was basically like, yeah, you should call him back. Like, I think they had just been previously ranked number 8 in the nation, and so I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, for sure, I'm going to call him back. And then I realized, like, their point guard had just graduated, so I was like, oh, yeah, this is a great opportunity for me. Like, what am I doing? And so, yeah, I remember majority of that conversation.
We have about 3 minutes left. Go ahead.
You guys were asked earlier when the momentum shifted. From my seat, it seemed like when KJ went down, it seemed like you guys had an extra pep in your step. You started making a little bit more hustle plays. In the back of your mind, were you guys thinking, like, we can't let her go out like she went out last year watching. We got to keep playing hard until she gets back in here. Or if she doesn't come back, we still got to win for her. Did that ever cross your mind when she went to the back for a little while for any player?
Yeah.
Okay. You got it?
Go ahead, Kai.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of like a flashback in a way, but I knew that our team wasn't going to, I guess, in the sense, like, let her down. And I know I wasn't going to let her down. I'm sure these two could say the same thing. And prayers up. Hopefully, you know, she'll be back for the next game, but it's already written, and I trust in God.
Just got time for 1 or 2 more. Go ahead, right here on the right.
Ben Pickman, Sports Illustrated. This is for really any of you guys. You know, 3 years in a row now, you had come up short in the Sweet 16. Just simply put, like, what does it mean for you now to know that you're going to the Elite 8?
I mean, it's like one of our goals for this year, you know, and so I think the whole game we were all thinking, like, we don't want it to happen what we did last year. Like, I remember saying at halftime, I was like, we're kind of playing right now like we don't remember, like, the upset we had last year. Like, we weren't playing with enough toughness. So I think it was really in our minds, like, this whole year and especially that game. And so we wanted to come out here. We wanted to go past the Sweet 16, and here we are. And we had to work hard for it, but we're here.
Last question right here.
Hi, all. Congratulations on the win. This is Jackie Powell with Bleacher Report. And this could be for any of you. I'm curious how emotionally you get through a game where maybe you start with a little bit less energy. Who or what is the catalyst that brings you to the finish line, where you're at right now?
I would say probably KJ, but I mean, it's honestly all of us. All of us just remind each other, like, hey, like, we're starting slow. We need to pick it up. We need to get together. We need to, like, run the sets and play defense. And so I would just say everyone on the team kind of just talks and reminds everyone, like, hey, we need to get it together and toughen up.
All right, thank you very much. You can take off, go back to the locker room. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be joined here by Coach Moore.